Hi, this is Shaurya from Integer Audio, where we discuss all things music production and audio engineering. Today, we will discuss a free plugin by Analog Obsession called Kolin MB. Kolin MB is a multiband compressor and vintage limiting amplifier claimed to be the most colorful multiband compressor. For those who don't know, a multiband compressor is a more advanced version of a standard compressor designed to control the dynamic range of audio signals across multiple frequency bands rather than treating the entire audio signal as a single entity. That allows for more precise and tailored dynamic control of different frequency ranges within a mix. So it splits the signal into different frequency ranges, say lows, mids and highs, so that we can process each frequency range separately. It is like a different compressor for each frequency range. So here, as you can see, that we have three different windows here. First window here is for the low frequencies, the second here is for the mid frequencies, and the third here is for high frequencies. And as you can see that we have separate knobs and separate controls for all three different frequency ranges. In a multi-band compressor, these frequencies ranges are called bands. So this is the low band, mid band and high band. So yeah, let's discuss the plugin. The first thing we need to discuss here is how we can set the frequency ranges of the bands. So we have a couple of crossover knobs here actually. So this low crossover, low X-over as it is called here, this sets the upper limit of your low frequency band and the lower limit of your mid frequency. This, as you can see, starts from 50 Hz and ranges till 1.2 kHz, which means that you can include frequencies up to 1.2 kHz in the low frequency band, and you can start somewhere from 50 Hz for the mid frequency band. Similarly, we also have a band for high frequency, which lets you set the upper limit of the mid band and the lower limit of the high band, right? So for me, I think I will set my low band till up to 400 Hz, and I might change it once I listen to the sound, but this is what I usually go for. So roughly 400 Hz for the low band, and between 400 and 2000 for the mid band, and everything above 2000 goes to the high band. This is how I would like to say. Now let's discuss these particular knobs over here. We get attack and release knobs for each band. The attack time varies from fast to slow. I read it in the manual. It's actually from 1 millisecond to 50 milliseconds. So fastest is 1 millisecond and the slowest is 50 milliseconds. Similarly, for release, the fastest is 100 millisecond and the slowest is 3 seconds. We have a good range for attack and release times here, which expands the versatility of the plugin. Like we can also process drums here, we can also process vocals with this plugin and add the vintage analog texture. Yeah, the great thing about this plugin is that it gives you that vintage and that analog sound for free. It's a free plugin, right? After attack and release knobs, you get your input and output settings. You can set the input level and the output level. And then of course there is the wet and dry signal that you get for each and every band. Then there is your external side chaining, which can be turned on. Red means on. Further, you can also turn these bands on or off by using these input output switches. Red means on and otherwise it's off. Finally, you get your master mix. Like you can adjust your dry and wet signal with this. For your master, you can adjust the input and output levels for this plug. Now that we have seen what each and every knob and control does in the plugin, let's discuss it and let's see it in action. Okay, so let's apply this Kolin MB on drums now. Let's hear the drums first without any compression. So let's adjust the low frequencies first. Okay, I really like how the kick sound has come up just after applying the compressor. The kick sound has gotten more tighter. It also has got more snappier. One thing that I wish the plugin had was to solo these bands and listen to them in isolation. Now let's add the mid band to it and see what happens. So I can actually hear more body getting added to the kick first of all. More body in terms of the mid frequencies, as in you can just hear the kick more. The effect is very similar to that of a saturation because I can almost hear like some harmonics in the kick that are getting added. It's probably because of the analog modeling it does behind the hood. Okay, now let's apply the plugin on the highs now. Do you listen to the bounce that this particular compression is adding to the entire groove? Like suddenly the hat movement is more bouncier now. There is also a room sound that has come up and got accentuated with this compressor. Yeah, so that hat movement, it just gotten more bouncier. So yeah, I think it's working well for the sound. Overall, the plugin is adding so much more excitement to the overall drums. It's making it brighter. It's almost like it's adding more life to it. Okay, now let's try Kolin MB on bass. I don't think we need these two on the bass. Let's just work with the low band only, the low frequency band only. Amazing. Yeah. Do you hear how the bass sounds more beefier, more thicker, and yeah, just more exciting. Now let's try the plugin on all the synths and guitars, basically all the melody instruments, and see how it sounds. I mean, hear how it sounds. I love the warmness that it's adding. We will probably take down these low frequencies that it's bringing up, right? Like we will definitely apply a high pass filter after this and cut those down. Yeah, do you hear the brightness that is getting added on the sustain because of the attack and release settings that we have set? But also because of the inherent sound of the compressor, that analog and vintage brightness that is there. I mean, it's so sweet. It sounds so sweet. Alright, now coming to the conclusion of the plugin. So first of all, I would like to mention that I wish the plugin had two things. Number one is an AB button. Secondly, I wish there was a solo and mute button for each band, which is not there. Of course, you can mute it by clicking on uh, input-output switch, but there is no solo button. But still, time for me to be grateful because the plugin is literally free and it's very rare to find multi-band compressors which are so good in quality. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is its great analog sound and its sweet texture. It just made the drums punchier, brighter, more modern without it being too heavy or harsh on the ears. Next, it also made the bass more thicker, cut through more and beefier. So you can use it on your bass sounds, your 808 sounds, and your even on your electric bass just to make them cut through more, make them grittier and make them maybe a little more aggressive. Lastly, the plugin is great for bus compression. You can literally apply it on a drum bus, you can apply it on a guitars bus, you can apply it on a synths bus, or you can apply it on a mix bus. That was Kolin MB by Analog Obsession for y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the video was valuable to you.